Hello, everybody. While everybody's joining, this is Michael Ray with Notary2Pro. We ask that when you get logged in, if you'll use the chat feature, please. Everybody should be able to see that. And just introduce yourself, where you're from and where you're joining us from. We'd love to hear from you and see you. I am joined. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Sabrina, is this page 2? Sorry, I have it backwards. Let me introduce our topic today. So we are very happy to have all of you here. This is number, I don't know, Sabrina, what is it? 7, 8, 9? I don't know, of our roundtable series. You're not sure either, are you, Sabrina?
I think this is 10, actually.
Oh, is it 10? They go so fast, I've lost track. So this is number 10. I'll take Sabrina's word, of our Notary2Pro Roundtable series. And our goal here is to deliver 30 minutes of impactful information about growing your business, expanding your skills, or just making life a little bit better for you and in your notary work and your notary business. So today is kind of a fun topic. We're going to be talking about what every loan signing agent or notary public should bring to a signing, and we're going to talk a little bit about the bag that you put it in. So it's all about what you put in your bag and what kind of bag to bring. And actually, it occurs to me, Sabrina, it's too late. What we really should have had is not a picture of a man with a business bag, but Santa with a gift bag. Right? That would have tied us into the season that we're all in. While I mention that, I want to thank everybody who's joining us today. We have quite a few people who've already logged in. We're very happy you're here. And I know that this season in particular can be very difficult to find a little free time to do something like this. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of things going on, and we're happy that you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with us. We'll try to make this very useful for you. So Sabrina, can you go to the next slide? So I've already introduced myself, Michael Ray with Notary2Pro. We have Sabrina Engelstad, who runs our marketing and sets up all these calls for us and makes sure everything works really fantastic. And of course, Andrea Douling, who is our expert faculty member, who's world famous on YouTube for her notary videos, and is an all-around notary expert. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So where did these quotes come from, Sabrina?
I think this is just a really well-known quote.
Okay.
I thought it was perfectly fitting for what to have in your notary bag. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So we have an article that goes with this topic as well, and you'll see the list is pretty long, but I think just like the quote says, it's better to have something for a signing than need it and not have it for your client.
Yeah.
So what Notary2Pro recommends is just keeping a list of the required and preferred items that you have and just check them off before a signing. It just ensures that you're organized and you're consistent with all of your clients.
I think it's a great tip. Kind of the Boy Scout thought process, right? Be prepared.
Yes.
Never know what you're going to need. Andrea, do you have a list?
It's on here.
When I looked at this quote, there were 3 things that definitely came to mind. Now, of course, I gave a list and you'll see a very detailed list, but this quote in particular, there were 3 things that came to mind. And so my first was a second notary stamp.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I say that because I experienced it for myself. I went to a signing, I'm pulling out all of my items and I'm looking for my notary stamp and I'm like, oh my goodness, where is my stamp? And I even go back to my vehicle, maybe I left it in there and I could not find it. Come to find out, I left it at my job, but I had a second notary stamp with me in my bag. And so I was able to complete that signing then and there with no complications. But of course, that entire time, I'm thinking in my head, oh my goodness, where's my stamp? Where's my stamp? The second item is
Andrea, let me interrupt. That
uh-huh.
story gets you a merit badge from the Boy Scouts. If there were a notary merit badge, I'm pretty sure you just earned it. So
I was nervous. And so when I went back to work and I saw it, I was like, oh, thank goodness. The second item, I hope that none of us ever need it, but mace. Always carry something of protection. Hopefully we never have to need it, but you just never know. I certainly don't want to be in a situation where I don't have it, but I need it. And then the third item was business cards. I always carry business cards with me. I oftentimes will give them out towards the end of the signing. I let them know, oh, by the way, the company may contact you for a survey. And in the event that they contact you, here's my business card so that you can leave a personal response, a personal survey. Therefore, and also if they need it later on, they can certainly use it. But generally, I want them to have the business card simply because I want them to leave a very personal response to the survey. And ultimately that hopefully gains more business.
Yeah, I'm sure, I mean, that's your chance to really impress people with your competence, right? So at the end of a signing, if you give out business cards, people are definitely gonna think of you if and when they need another notary or somebody they know needs a notary, right? So.
Absolutely. And something, especially during COVID, I'll say something, I said something like, here's my business card. Should they send you a survey request, you'll have my information, but if nothing else, you'll know what I look like underneath the mask. And we all chuckle, go about our very little way. And then they have that business card should they need my services. Excellent.
Well, that's those are three great items to highlight. And do we want to flip? Oh, okay. So Sabrina, this is the different types of bags that we recommend.
Yes. So I worked with Lori closely and Barbara a little, and I just wanted to know what kind of things did Carol really recommend for notaries to have. And the first was some sort of mechanism that locks. So either a clipboard or a small bag to keep items that you don't want anyone having access to. So your notary journal, just like other things that are like handy that you want all the time. So just like 30 all-purpose jurats, acknowledgements in there. It's where you keep your stamp for your seal and just those types of things. You can get creative and put whatever else you want in there, but I think it's really essential to have that locking mechanism. And then the other two images are just showing the variety of what kind of notary bag you can have. So they have rolling ones if you're carrying more heavy items that you don't want to lug around on your shoulder. And then the other one is actually the one that I think Andrea has. So it just shows you the variations of what you can have. Yeah.
Well, and we'd love to hear from our audience on your favorites. Share with your colleagues here what your favorites are. Andrea, which one is yours?
So I like them all for various reasons. So the top left, the locking clipboard, I like that because it's sturdy. So I might use that for multiple reasons. Of course, in it, I'm going to have my notary stamp and other information, for example, my notary handbook or something like that. But I may use that also as for something sturdy for the signer or for me to write on in the event that we're doing a closing outside or something like that. The others, I like the different compartments. So when it comes to your notary bag, you need different compartments. You don't want everything just sitting in one, just a whole tote bag with a bunch of stuff in it. You need to have some kind of organization to it. So I like the other items just because I can put pins in one section and I can put my notary stamps or bags or other documentations in another section, and things are separated. Therefore, I'm a bit more organized.
Yeah. I really like this this monster roller bag with the locks on it. I would think that would be really efficient as a notary, although maybe kind of a pain to get in and out of your car depending on what you drive, but you can break this up into compartments. You can have files in there. You don't need to worry about where to find stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So
And that probably holds a lot more where you're dealing with a lot of documents that are legal
Yeah.
size. That's probably a great, I wouldn't call it a bag, but it's probably a great thing to have. Whereas the clipboard locking mechanism up top, you're not going to be able to put your legal documents in there.
No.
That's something that's just for the personal things like your notary handbook and even your notary commission and other things that you may need, W-9 or what have you. But yeah, that box type setup, that would probably be great for your loan documents and for everything else.
Yeah. So if you're a signing agent and you're going out and bringing documents with you and taking documents away, that kind of bag would be really effective. I would also think that part of it depends on, do you bring your personal computer with you?
Or even a scanner or like a printer.
Right, right. And I'm pretty positive we can squeeze a scanner or scan printer in this big roller bag here. Be tough to do with any of the others.
Yeah.
I don't want to belabor the point, and I am not a notary, so I'll disclose that, but I spend a lot of time to and from airports and commuting on trains, and I absolutely do not like this bag here in the middle. The standard business carry-on type bag. And a few years ago when I was traveling a lot, I switched to a backpack. Because it's really rough on your back to carry this kind of bag. I know my mom carried that for a long time, ultimately went away from that to more of a roller bag, a locking roller bag. Of course, my mom also carried the world's largest purse with her because she, in addition to all of her notary things, she never left the house without a multitude of helpful items in case, she had a snowstorm or something. You never know, right? There was always some need for, the material in a purse. So, cool.
Well, as I continue to grow in this business, I feel like I'm constantly adding something else to my notary bag.
Okay.
Just to be sure, just so I know that I'm prepared. So like Sabrina said earlier, you're carrying several copies of juras and you're carrying several copies of acknowledgements. And then over time, things just start adding to this bag, but you certainly don't want to do without. So what do? You take it with you.
Yeah. And you learn from hard experience, right? Which is hopefully what this list that we're helping folks with will give them the benefit of your hard-earned experience, right, of what goes in the bag. Awesome.
So these are my recommendations. The top one is talking about the different compartments more so that we've already hit on that you need as far as your bag. Materials you always want to have at your disposal. Oh, so that clipboard we referenced that has the locking mechanism, but you can also put items in there. That would be great for your notary stamps and your notary commission and your W-9 and all of that. If you're going out marketing, you want to have that sort of thing easily accessible to you. Let's see.
And Andrea, that actually brings me to an important point. I think we focused on this from a notary standpoint, but a big part of your business activity is marketing, right? So you should always have your marketing material with you. En route to or from signings is a great time to include a marketing stop, to introduce yourself to people who are in the neighborhood and are potential signers. I know, for example, my wife, who's been a notary for many years, also, for example, she does signings in Sun City here in Arizona, and a lot of those are wills and power of attorney and those kinds of things. So she goes to a facility to do that, she will always stop by with marketing material to introduce herself to administrators and so forth, right? So
Mhm.
I think that's
Right.
a good point.
And you never know what your signer does. I've come in contact a few times where the customer that I'm servicing at that time works for a title company or actually is a signing agent themselves and obviously couldn't do the closing themselves. So you just want to be prepared for whatever comes your way. If you have a signing with someone who has their own company, you certainly want to have all of your documents there so you can share that with them. And I've certainly been asked, oh, can I have your information? Oh, I
Sure.
have all the information you need right here.
Great.
Let's see. Should always keep some specific materials in your vehicle. So, I love this last point because I learned the hard way. I always want to keep FedEx envelopes and UPS envelopes in my vehicle. I cannot rely on the store themselves to have the envelopes. And I know that makes probably no sense, but there's one UPS store in my area where they never have legal size envelopes. They just don't have it. So I always carry the envelopes in my bag. I even have a FedEx and a UPS account, which is absolutely free. And I get them to deliver the supplies to my home. So I'll get the envelopes, I'll get the poly packs, and I'll even get the shipping label sticker the shipping label envelope. And I have all of that ready. So technically, I don't need anything from UPS or FedEx except for them to ship my documents.
Yeah. Well, what I love about that is you can sit in the comfort of your car and fill out the envelope and just walk in and drop it off. You don't need to wait in line and obtain a document and stand there in some smelly lobby or something, filling out the document. So that's a really great tip.
No, you don't have to, but I still stand in line and get the receipt because I want the tracking number and proof that I shipped off the document. So I still do that unless I'm like in a rush and I trust, because over time you end up creating relationships with the people that work at FedEx and UPS. And if it's someone that I'm like, oh, I know they're going to cover me, they're going to make sure my stuff is shipped, then I may run out the door if I'm in a rush. But most of the time I still get the receipt.
Good tip. Thank you. See, this is stuff that is so important, and I love the expertise that you bring to this.
Okay, so my supply list, I feel like it's kind of long, but
should have seen Stephanie's.
okay. So my bag has a bunch of stuff in it, but first and foremost, it has my notary stamp as well as my Typic stamp. And for those who don't know, in Maryland, we have to have a separate licensure in order to do loan closings, and it's called Title Insurance Producer Independent Contractor. So I have those two stamps. I have a slew of pens, both blue and black. I personally prefer the no smear dry gel pens. Especially when I'm working with signers that are left-handed, because it does not smear. So I like those. Notepads of various sizes. Some of those notepads notes might be for me personally, remember to do this, or remember to contact the signing company to tell them that, let's say, tell them that there was something wrong with one particular document, or that a signer didn't sign this document because it wasn't applicable to them. Just different notes for myself, but then might be a sticky note for the company. Let's see, flashlight, of course, that's for nighttime closings, and if I'm in an area that's not well lit. Hand sanitizer, especially during COVID time, I even brought around my little Lysol spray with me, or I had hand wipes, gloves, a bunch of stuff during that time. Your business cards, of course, the signature guide. So a few times I have had closings where the person signing the documents was visually impaired. And that first closing was pretty difficult to do. I had to really guide them. They knew what they were signing. They just couldn't see exactly where they needed to sign on the documents. So I found this on Amazon. I think it was like $3 or $4, and it's a signature guide which you put on the paper. If there's someone who is visually impaired, they can clearly see the black part that's on the top and the bottom, and they know to sign in between it. And so I would put that on the document for them so that they knew exactly where to sign the document. Let's see, name badge. I would always bring that so they know that I'm absolutely legit. Mace, we've already talked about. Your notary journal, of course, you're going to need your notary journal. Notary2Pro highly recommends notary journals, even if in your particular state, it's not a requirement. Let's see, we talked about something that was hard surface. The other thing I carry around, this isn't it, but it's very similar, is a folder, and inside the folders, it houses all of my upcoming appointments. And this is kind of dark. It's not the one I actually use, but it's see-through. I can see on this side, this is my upcoming, this is the appointment that I'm currently at. It shows all the information. This is the confirmation page that shows exactly how they want the document signed or any specific requirements they have. But then I'll turn it over to the back. This is where my rescission calendar is. And so I can see without flipping through, I can see, okay, this is the date. Here's my rescission calendar. And I know what the right to cancel document should have on there as far as the end date. But yeah, and like I said, inside are all of my other closings in the order that I'm going to.
Now, some people use an electronic calendar, but you prefer, you do as well.
I use an electronic calendar, but if I'm driving and I'm using my GPS or something like that, I don't want to be on my phone. So it might be just as easy, because I normally keep this on the seat beside me. So it might be easy just for me to pick it up and be like, oh, let me double check this right quick while I'm sitting at the light versus getting on my phone.
That's those are really, really good tips. Thanks, Andrea. And for the audience, I noticed that Ron is advising paper clips. If anybody has suggestions for things that we should add to our list, or you want to share with everybody else, we'd love to hear from you. Can I ask you both a question? In addition to these items, what is on your Christmas list for your notary bag or notary business? Anything?
So I generally buy a new notary bag. I like the one I have, but I generally get a different color.
Oh, a different color. Okay, all right. Is there a particular brand that you have loyalty to, or is it just the color?
I get the same bag. I don't know what the brand is, but I get the same bag every single year, but they have a bunch of colors, and I think this year I'm getting pink.
Ooh.
You're getting which color this time?
Pink.
And so is this a Christmas present you buy yourself, or is it one that your family gets for you? Or
I normally get it myself, or I guess the business gets it, but it makes me happy.
There you go. All right, that's great. Sabrina, I know you're not a notary, but what's on your Christmas list today or top of your list?
Well, I want new shoes, but just kidding. So I think a really good thing to do, especially in terms of like marketing, is just having like some sort of stationery or some sort of cards that are relevant to the holidays going by or the season. And I think that just gives it a nice personal touch to your clients to give them a card or something like that, reminding them who you are and just wishing them a happy holiday season or something like that.
Oh, that's a lovely idea. So you're suggesting kind of have some holiday cards available, and you can write in a little note maybe, or you know, thanks for trusting me with your signing and a signature. That's great.
Yeah,
that is
very clever idea. But
Yeah.
what, tell us more about the shoes that you really have on your list.
So my feet are always freezing. So I just want like a shorter pair of Uggs maybe or something like that. My
Okay.
feet are always cold. So yeah.
There you go. All right. All right. We'll have to see if Santa Claus knows about that, right? So,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Have
we have
we seen any other feedback in the chat of things that maybe we missed?
Yeah, so we had paper clips already, and then Douglas Gunn added that the paper calendars are a great idea, like Andrea suggested, because their batteries don't die and they won't
Mhm.
crash on a hard drive. So you'll always have that written for you. You know, old school stuff kind of works out better sometimes. And then,
Yeah. And that's from Douglas Gunn, huh?
yeah.
Great. Thank you,
And then,
Douglas.
and then Lisa Wright Minter recommended large rubber bands or binder clips to keep docs from moving around within the envelope is also a good idea.
Yeah, great tips. So, well, good. Did we miss covering any part of our topic, Sabrina?
No, I think, yep, that's it.
Okay, great. I just wanted to again thank our audience for joining us today. And we had a smaller audience than normal today. It doesn't surprise me because we're in the midst of the holiday season, kind of this intermission between one giant holiday where we all stuff ourselves with food and another holiday where we have all kinds of things going on. So we appreciate you being here. And this for a lot of us can be a very stressful period of time, and I think we all feel it, and especially in a market like this for notaries, as we've seen interest rates climb, and in many markets, notarization slow down, right? And I know that's something that we all feel pressure and stress over, and it's a difficult season for us. I just want to recognize my mom, Carol Ray, who founded Notary2Pro, absolutely loved this period of the year. She just went crazy for Christmas, and always was big on presents for just everybody. And the younger the person, the more the presents, right? That was always her thought, but always looking at what people need. But I think one of the things that she also taught is really, this is a season when we should be focused on sort of the joy of the season, right? The cheer of the season, and giving and being kind to one another. And it's very difficult in an environment where things are stressful and there's a lot of challenges. Many of us, Andrea, you're a great example of multiple jobs and multiple responsibilities and family. And Sabrina, I know you're in very much the same boat. So there's a lot of stressors, a lot of things, but just want to encourage everybody, this is also an important part of your personal health and your personal outlook. To borrow a phrase from the Bible and some very popular Christmas songs, be of good cheer. This is a time of year when we need to be of good cheer and think about the many blessings in our lives. And from Notary2Pro to all of you, we want to wish you good cheer in this holiday season. So thank you all for joining us. And next year, I want to mention that we are going to really focus our efforts on these roundtables on how to build your notary business. We know that a lot of our students, a lot of our colleagues are really struggling with trying to maintain their business and keep things going. And so our focus in the new year is going to be all about how we can work together to expand our business offerings, to market our business, to be strong in the market and grow our businesses and sustain through what may be a fairly lean season for notaries. So we're looking forward to engaging with you in 2023, and we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hello, I'm Michael Ray, CEO of Notary2Pro. Thanks for joining us for this webinar. Be sure to see our website, Notary2Pro.com, for more information and resources. Also, don't forget to sign up with us there for great additional updates, news, and tools. Notary2Pro is the most respected professional signing agent course in the United States. Founded by Carol Ray in 2009, Notary2Pro has trained more than 10,000 notaries to become professional signing agents. Our graduates are preferred by more signing agencies because only Notary2Pro enables notaries to practice error-free signings. Thanks again, and see you next time.